the 2013 Manchester Rapid play, which was played on the 17th of March 2013, the day after the heartbreak of this county match, which I'll explain in another video. I was one of the top seeds in this section with a rapid grade of 155, and it was under 160, and it drops all the way down to like 130s, but it was very strong. There were some underrated players. There was a strong contingent from my club and some underrated juniors, so I didn't really fancy my chances of winning it, but got to do my best. I did want a Stockport actually before this, sandwiched in between Bury and Manchester, but I've not had to take them games yet, so I may come back to it, because that was an interesting tournament. My first opponent was called Richard Szwajkun. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it. It's 144 ECF. I had played him when he was 97 and I was 114 in long play a couple of years ago at Frodsham, and I won that time but was very lucky. That was also a money game as well, but this was round 1, so it's not going to be a money game. And I've been playing really fast then, so I'm not surprised his rapid's this high. I played B3, a rather slightly unorthodox move, well offbeats that Larsen popularised. Just aims to fiend kettle this bishop, get pressure on the long diagonal, and sort of play like a reverse Nimzo Indian, and get a grip on e5. He played e5, which is the strongest move, which takes out my f4 hack lines and blunts my bishop. So we've got this. Now I wasn't sure what to do against this fianchetto. I actually ended up setting some sort of reverse French defence, which I decided to use this tournament. We're after d4, e4, I have d2, d5. You see it's sort of reverse French now. Of course I move up. We've got these couple of fianchettos added. This has never been played before, this move. And f3, because f6 to undermine the centre is a key move in the French with black, and it is also can play with white as well. Now I don't really have an edge because I'm playing as black, but I have a position which I like, which is something. So he takes f3, so now I have a backward pawn on a semi-open file, but in return I will get f-file pressure, just like the French. And now this is quite awkward to me actually, putting immediate pressure on the pawn to say queen e2, c8. Castles, takes, and then idea is to play like the reverse. Black sometimes plays e5 to get some activity in turn for an IQP. Maybe that can be tried. He just played bishop g7, castles, bishop a3. Just because the bishop's batting on granite on b2, so I decided to put it outside the pawn chain with a gain of tempo because the rook's attacked. Also, the time control, by the way, was, rather than a standard half an hour each at Bury, it was 20 minutes each, with 10 seconds additional added to the digital clock after every move. Rook e8, so you're not really going to lose on time, but it's obviously you get 10 minutes less at the start, so it's still quite fast. c1, he's trying to hopefully get some c-file pressure going. 6, bishop d3. The position isn't that open, so maybe I was justified in bishop takes d7. But again, it's like a reverse French defence, so the light square bishop, which is black's bad bishop, in that opening is now white's good bishop. So that's why I didn't play it. But I think after this continuation, white's got a good game. Got a nice grip on e5. d5 is weak as well. Ace point bishop d3, b5. So I may watch out for b4 forks some point. Now bishop d6, rerouting the knight to a more active post, where because black doesn't have any decent discoveries, well, no way to win material anyway. g5. Knight g5 is well met by bishop a6, h4, and knight g4, and white is in trouble. Bishop d6, d6, bishop g3, and now knight g4, Black now decided to launch an assault on my e3 point. I played queen d2, not a move I enjoyed making, putting all my pieces on the sensitive c1 to h6 diagonal. Naturally, bishop f4. And now my opponent makes a bad move now. He played g5. This is probably the first bad move of the game, this, because it loosens his king and doesn't do anything in general. Better was to take the bishop, and after he takes f4, it is a double-edged move because it gets rid of the weakness at e3, but there is now an isolating on d4 as well as black's isolating on d5, and I don't have an f file to work with, and instead there's now an open e file where black's already got a rook on it, so this probably favours black in general. g5, bishop g3, and now black's actually in trouble now. Bishop d7. The logical follow-up would actually probably be f5, but I can play knight e5. The permanent hole on e5 is going to haunt black. Knight takes, bishop takes, rook f8. Now g4 is a very strong move, because if f takes g4, we've got a tactic: bishop takes h7 check, king takes h7, a queen c2 check, which is curtains. So you see now black's king's very weak. Bishop d7, I played knight d1. This protects e3 and threatens bishop c7, although a double blunder is coming up. Because now, well, this is rapid, remember, but black actually missed the threat with knight f6. But I actually failed to realise that my last move uncorks this tactical trick to win the knight. So I just missed bishop c7, which just wins, because these two pieces are fought. I just continue with knight e5. And I realised another tactic which I saw this time with bishop e6. Bishop g7 was better, protecting the loose knight, and after h4, g4, h5, rook e6, queen f2. And white can build up a strong attack because g5 created so many holes and was just a really bad move. But bishop e6, I just played knight c6. And now the queen can't keep defense of the knight. So black's now toast, and the rest is a matter of technique. The queen d7, takes f6, g7, rook f1, rook ac8, knight e5. This speeds up the win now due to the unopposed dark square bishop, but it's lost anyway. Takes, queen e7, queen c2. Another good move, hitting h7 and forcing f5, which is now taken. So now I'm a pawn and a bishop up. The knight wakes up from its slumber. h6, blunder. That's bad actually. What is it? This is actually a forced mate according to my engine. There's too many threats. Knight takes h6 is unstoppable. Should really have seen that. But I got a bit complacent, I think, so I was winning. And now I just decided to swap everything off. So now black's best is to swap everything off, and then it's an easy win with bishop and pawn up. Although just to note, if all the pawns got swapped off and it left my a2 pawn and black's king got to a8 before mine, then it would actually be drawn. Now that would be a swindle. But yeah, he just proved his check-in and then resigned because now it is a forced mate. So he threw in the towel. Well, he got a good position from the opening, but made one bad move with g5, and then I started getting all the play, and at the second attempt pounced on the tactic. And overall a decent game, and gave me some confidence in the quest to get first and £120. But I hope you enjoyed it, and please leave any comments and thoughts, and stay tuned for the next rounds.